Hey everyone, Mark Maris Outdoors, and I'm back today to do another video with the Community Outdoors. Today's Season 1, Episode 10 on a beginner bushcraft shelter. I'm going to be doing this video today on a U.S. military pup tent set up into a couple different configurations. So I'm going to get to it, you guys stick with me. Okay guys, so let's talk about this here for a second. This is the U.S. military pup tent. And what this is two shelter halves. Two sets of poles and stakes. That's what it comes with. This is a pretty heavy shelter that's made out of a cotton canvas. This thing is not waterproof. It sheds water. You can waterproof them with Canvac. But this is a good bulletproof shelter that if you're not hiking a long way, it's a good alternative to a tarp if you're trying to go with a more traditional style shelter. So, here are your tent poles. These are your stakes and ropes. That's what it comes with. Okay, so on the inside of this, after you unroll it, I have folded up a regular ground tarp on the inside, and this is just one I got from Walmart. It's kind of a cheapie, but it's the heavy duty one, so that way I can put this on the ground and I don't have to worry about anything poking holes in it. And it'll keep your stuff dry. So I just roll this up inside the tarp. It adds a little bit of weight, but it's worth it to have in there. All right guys, so this is your two shelter halves. And how this works, as you can see, it buttons up straight down through the middle, and that's what connects them both together. So I'm gonna button those up and then start setting this thing up. Something I'd like to add about this pup tent are the snaps where they snap together. They're all back and front snaps. They have one on the front, one on the back. And that makes it to where you can add more to it. So if you had another U.S. military pup tent, you could turn this into a bigger shelter if you wanted to. Or if you happen to carry a U.S. military poncho, the poncho have these same snaps, and you can add onto it with your poncho and make it that much better. A different configuration. There's a lot you can do with these things, and that's why I like them. So I just thought I'd throw that in. Okay guys, So this is the standard configuration for the U.S. military pup tent. This is the way that this thing is meant to be set up. I would recommend setting it up like this for the cold winter months, and only because you can mod this thing to have a fireproof opening in the top to where you can have a small wood burning heater in the tent with you. And this is just something that I've made. It's just a little wood burning stove that I made out of a beer keg, a mini beer keg. You can put whatever you want in there, but this is a good setup for that with this in the cold months. So that's the standard. This is how they set it up in the military. Now I'm going to show you a couple different other ways to set this thing up for more of the bushcraft traditional type ways. So stick with me. Alright guys, so this is the whaling configuration. Sorry I don't have a really good shot of this. I'm kind of in tight quarters here, but this is basically it. What this is I've unsnapped the sides and added 2 poles for the front, and it gives you a porch or more room to be under when weather conditions are suitable. So that's one more configuration on this pup tent. Like I said, that's why I like this thing, because it is so versatile. You know, I like being able to change this thing up and have this nice porch underneath. Build your fire out front, put a reflective blanket in the back. It's going to be all you need for the nighttime. These sides have stake down points where you can stake them down, open it up so the wind don't blow them in on you. So that's the whaling configuration. The next configuration, I don't know what it's called. I've just kind of saw it from place to place, and I want to add that to it because I think it's a neat configuration. So I'm going to do that one next. Alright guys, so for this last configuration, I've taken the poles out of the sides. I've buttoned the snaps back down on each side. I'm going to take one stick, lift up the middle, pull it out, stick a stick right under there. And that is the last configuration for the U.S. military pup tent. This gives you a lot more room on the inside, just like the whaling configuration did. It gives you an awning, but the sides are snapped together. So this would be more of a rainy condition type whaling configuration. I think this one's my favorite, to be honest. I like this configuration the best. It's got some airflow from the front, not too much because the sides are buttoned and snapped together. Got some good runoff for the rainwater. Got a lot of surface area underneath. So for me, this is it. I like this a lot. I don't have my ground tarp under here, but if I was going to be staying under it, I would. All right, y'all. I'd like to thank y'all for joining me today on Season 1, Episode 10 of A Community Outdoors. This is a beginner bushcraft shelter series, and this is my man-made shelter. This is a U.S. military pup tent set up into 3 different configurations. Depending on your environment and depending on your weather conditions. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. Here it is. Alright y'all, I'd like to take a minute and thank each and every one of y'all for coming along with us on this journey through Series 1. I can't thank y'all enough. All the support and everything has just been over the top. I'd like to have a special thanks go out to Sean with the Family Outdoors. Man's put his heart and soul into this. He's been over backwards, making all the intros, you know, putting it all together, coming up with ideas. He's been wonderful throughout this whole thing. I'd also like to throw out a special thanks to Doug with a Grim Raven for doing all the interview videos. He brought a little extra spice to it as well. It's been awesome with these guys. Rod and Jason, amazing guys. Rod brought some great comedy to the series, and Jason, man, that dude's got his own flair, you know, with that glorious beard and rock star attitude. I mean, couldn't ask for a bunch of better guys to do this with. But more than anything, I'd really like to thank each and every one of y'all. You know, all the subscribes we've gotten from this, and all the help we've gotten with the shares and people liking the videos and all the views and everything else has just been over the top. So I also would like to say that we've got a Series 2 coming out. For those of you that have enjoyed Series 1, Series 2 is going to be Prolonged Survival, and we are also going to have 2 new members coming along with us on this journey. So I'm not going to say any names yet. That'll be out soon enough. I've created a new playlist down below, and so have all of the other members from Community Outdoors. So be sure to check out playlist 2, Prolonged Survival, and be looking for that first video to pop up. Appreciate it again, guys. Mark from Harris Outdoors. Peace.